Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So it's that time of week again. It's our usual Saturday Night Live. So let's see. It might be a little bit different this week. So the topic's going to be a little bit different. And as you can tell from the title, I'm on a mission. And I made a post in my Facebook group today. And hopefully it's going to be following on from that. So I just thought I'd have a chat and go through what my ideas were and see if we can find some people who are of a similar mindset, who have a similar ideology and want to come along and join me in my adventure, or it'll be our adventure together. So let's see who's coming. We've got 7 people. Let's see who's popping in to say hello tonight. So I've got the real bug. We've been looking at farms and homesteads and things like that for a long time. And most of the things, just on a single person or a single family budget, unless you're made of money, it's going to be way outside of a budget. So what I'm thinking, or what I'm planning, is to find a group of people and then we build a community together. So let's see who's coming. We've got Laura. How are you doing? Don't Crop Me Now. Brian's Garden and Polytunnel. How are you all doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Quercus Rober, how are you doing? I think I probably mangled that, but apologies for that. Ron, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Derek, how are you doing? So yeah, as the title says, the mission, should you choose to accept it. Now, when looking at small holdings and things like that, so I've been looking at small holdings and looking at farms and looking at things like that and trying to get out of the city life. And I'm thinking, if I sold my house, even with that, there's absolutely no way we could afford a small holding. So where do you know, like a typical small holding with a small 3-bedroom house, farmhouse, and about 10 acres of land, you're looking at about £500,000. Let's see what's going on. So we've got Debbie, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. We've got A, how are you doing? Quercus Rober is the English. All right, brilliant. Drops Family Garden, how are you doing, mate? Long time no see. Hope all is good with you. So yeah, so what I was sort of saying was, right, a small holding, you're looking at about £500,000 for about 10 acres of land. But if we do that together, if we find about 10 families together, 10 families, or 10, individual units, then what we could do is potentially go for a big farm, like 100 acre farm, and they're selling around the country for about £1 million. So per 10 acres, the budget's a lot smaller. So you're looking at 100 grand compared to £500,000. But then you'd have to get planning permission and fight about that and get your, building approved. But if we get static caravans, there's a way of getting around the rule. There's little tricks of getting around the rules, and I'm looking for those people who are willing to join this journey with me. Famous now. Yeah, I wish. I mean, it was great. It was a really good debut. I think the way they did it, they treated us with a lot of respect. The way they took us on and presented us as people who actually know something rather than people who are just coming along for a bit of fun. And that, from that point of view, was really good. It was great to see you on TV. Thank you very much. Honestly, I loved doing it. I absolutely love doing it. I'm not in a super financial position, but here's my donation every week. Thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much. Got the chickens tearing up the garden beds, no till, absolutely fantastic. Drop, that's brilliant. See, my chickens aren't coming since we've moved them to the new bed or the new pen. They're not happy as happy to come out into the middle of the garden and wander down the bottom as they used to be. So that's one of the. It's been a bit of a flaw in the design actually. So I mean, it's a much nicer place that they've got, and a nicer place that they're living in, but that is a flaw in the design. Have you looked at Wales or Scotland? I believe Scots really want to draw people in. The only thing that's putting me off about Scotland is it's cold. It's really cold. I mean, you look, it's and the seasons are a lot shorter. So that's the only thing that's putting me off about Scotland. I don't do well in the cold, but if we can do it, Wales, the south of Wales sounds like a good area. Devon, I think, is another area that sounds like a good prospect, and it's warmer down there as well. But plenty of cheap land in Arkansas and Kentucky. I mean, see, I'd be willing to move to Wales, but I think leaving the country is a completely different. It's a new story out there. I will grow. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Don't have a TV license. What have I missed? You've missed us being on TV. Absolutely brilliant episode. I mean, it was really good. The way I think we got some good time as well. We're on for almost 5 minutes, and 5 minutes in a 25-minute show. That's a good section. That it's buffering a lot for you. Is it? Is anyone else buffering? My brother's so proud. 3 wheels on a block. Thanks very much, mate. I really appreciate that. South Wales is very expensive, unfortunately. I was looking at some places around Pembrokeshire. I think it's Pembrokeshire, maybe, and Monmouthshire. It's quite expensive, but I think it's a little bit cheaper than UK, than England. Sorry. So on my Hollybobs and turning into your live chat, fantastic, Charlie. Sherry, sorry. Glad you coming in to say hello. Where are you on holiday? So I saw some incredible organic gardens that provided for skincare business when I was in Prague. I wonder if a business component could help soften the financial outlay. I think one of the things that we're trying to do is one of the things that I want to get doing is get my pickle business up and running a bit more. So I need to put some more energy into that. We've got the 3 flavors at the moment: the naga, the chili, and the garlic. We're going to be launching a new flavor in the next few weeks. So keep an eye on this space, and then that'll start bringing in some revenue. But that's basically one of the reasons that I want to go south rather than go north, is because I want to grow a lot of chilies, and want to be pretty much self-sufficient in them, enough to be able to fuel the whole of the pickle business. So you can always move hens into a smaller apartment, put sheep in the hen house, and Nitro Psycho is going very good. How are you doing? I don't do well in the cold either. Warmer is always better. Absolutely. I appreciate the videos. Lots of great advice. Michael, you're very welcome. I'm glad you joined us tonight. So as you're coming in, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like, we've got 24 people in the house. We've got 5 likes. If we get that like count up a little bit, then that'll be really good as well. They tore up the bed where the corn was planted last year. Fantastic. See, I leave my corn stalks in the ground. I don't know about you, but I sort of cut them off at the base and then just leave them in the ground. And a lot of people complain that corn stalks don't break down that easily. Went had a look, because I was planting some beans and stuff around that area, some broad beans and some garlic. and my corn stalks are pretty much it's been just over. Well, we haven't even got into the season yet, but and the worms haven't really got into their activity properly yet, and they're breaking down an absolute beauty. In Torquay, what's the weather like down there at the minute? We've had a really nice day today. A little bit cold, but it's been an absolutely really sunny day. Yeah, plenty. Managed to get a fair amount done. So started the new container garden. So I promised you guys that I'd do a container garden because I know not everyone has access to a back garden, and it's pretty much the garden that we gardened in. What I'm trying to replicate is the garden that we gardened in for most of our lives, which is about 6 foot of concrete, that sort of thing. And what I'm doing is I'm building a container garden, but I want to use free or next to free stuff. My budget for the garden is really small, and I want to build on that. Sean, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Glad you could make it. How are you? How are you doing? How's everything going with you? How are your plants going? Because I know I saw your message and I was a little bit worried about you. Hope everything's good with you. So what's the best things I can grow this month? I want to grab some sleepers tomorrow and make a few beds. There's absolutely loads of things you can get on with. Absolutely, absolutely loads and loads of stuff. I've got a video on dedicated on what to plant in March, so have a look at that. There's loads of stuff you can grow. Pretty much everything is a go, apart from some of the later starting tenders. But pretty much everything's a go now. So internet just horrible. The west coast of Ireland is supposed to be very cheap. Have a look at the chap whose channel is called Mossy Bottom. I know Mossy Bottom. He messes about too much on his channel, and I can't concentrate on what he's doing because of some of the stuff that some of the stuff that he's doing. So I can't. Does that make sense? So I'll have another look at that. But yeah, love your videos. Got lots of good advice from them. Yvette, you're very welcome. Glad you could join us tonight. And if, as you're coming in, everyone, if you could hit that like for me, I'd really appreciate it. You could make a decent business in chilies with a couple of large polys without more than an acre or two. See, the amount of chilies that we're currently going through is probably a kilo of naga a week. So you'd need a good amount of land. Acre or two of just polytunnels. Yeah, I think you'd do well on that. Yeah. Sarfraz, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thanks very much for coming in. I hope everything's good with you. Tipping it down and blowing freezing. No way. So you're on holiday and you've got the rubbish weather. See, we've got some really nice weather at the minute. So Faraz, how's your calf doing? Tony from Little Farmers Farm, how are you doing, mate? Glad you could make it. Hope all's good with you. I work with websites, e-commerce. If you wanted to set up a website for the chili business completely for free, I can show you how. Trial it maybe. I'll email you if interested. See, my brother-in-law is supposed to have, so he set the website up. So we've got a My Family Garden website, and he's supposed to set the e-commerce thing up, and I'm just hanging on him at the minute. So because we're trying to get some merch up as well, so some jumpers and t-shirts, and he's working on that, but they've just had a little baby, so everything's gone even slower than normal. Can you get away with sowing? You can get away with sowing most brassicas outside now. Fertilizer prices going up. Ashley, no, Alicia, sorry. we don't really use a lot of fertilizers. We make whatever fertilizers we use, we make ourselves. So things like wheat tea, so loads of nettles, absolutely brilliant for nitrogen. Dandelions and dock, really good dynamic accumulators, good, almost as good as comfrey. Comfrey, if you can get that planted, another fantastic one that's well balanced. Make your fruit peels, banana skins, apple skins, or apple cores, melt that, rot them down, make some nice fertilizer from that. Absolutely brilliant. Unless you're farming on a large scale, then that's a different story. But for gardeners, we don't need fertilizer. There's plenty of stuff that we can use ourselves or make ourselves. Even human urine, absolutely brilliant. Blues, self-reliance. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I'm going to move out of the blue, and I was frustrated. I won't be able to garden for a long time, unfortunately. Thanks for asking, by the way. Oh, sure, man. I'm really sorry about that. I hope things start settling down. But if anytime you need a chat, you've got me a messenger. If you need my number, I'll send my number over as well. Even if you just want to chat. Ivan, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Let's see. Imran Hussein, is hilly steep land any good? How would you use it? So hilly and steep land would be okay for things like animal farming. And depending on how deep the soil was, you could potentially terrace parts of it and use that for growing on. But it all depends on a lot depends on the climate. But I mean, what my vision is, I'll tell you what my vision is. My vision is if we can get probably 100-acre farm between 10 of us, and then we can split that into plots, put on temporary housing for a few years, and once we've established ourselves as individual plot holders within that larger plot, we can apply for planning permission for our own bespoke home, and then we'll build our own home on there, and then take it from there. And then everyone's got their independence, but we've also gone and done it as a community. So you can have your own little plot and do your own little thing in your own home, but then we're doing it as a community as well. So anytime someone needs a little bit of help from someone, so we're doing it together. So if we need a tractor, we buy one tractor between the 10 of us. We buy one digger or whatever we do. We buy one of the thing between 10 of us, and then we share it. And all the sort of major tools are communal. And if there's existing farm properties and stuff like that, we can turn that into a holiday home, a restaurant, or something like that. And there's a business on site, and then we can all work on there together, build, generate income to build our own little lifestyle. I mean, that's sort of the vision. But if anyone is interested, do get in touch with me, because I want to really, I really want to turn this into something real. Yeah. Calf is doing well, running after the kids again. So if you can run after the kids, then your calf must be doing good. Dad's everyday kitchen. Hope you're well. Never. Oh, it's Bish. Bish, how are you doing, mate? Long time no see. Glad you could make it. Hit Monty's happy thumb. Absolutely. If you wouldn't mind hitting that happy thumb, that'd be good. I've got a family with 3 kids, and the way the world's becoming, and the way no one's self-sufficient scares the crap out of me. If you had to grow a few things for quantity, what would you pick? Depending on space, I mean, courgettes are really easy to grow, and they don't need massive space, and they give you a lot for what they are for the plant. Potatoes, but the thing about potatoes is they're dirt cheap to buy. So if you're limited on space, then potatoes might not be an option, because you can buy, grow more expensive things. Soft fruits, definitely. Strawberries, raspberries, gooseberries, currants. They're so expensive in the shops. That's one of the things where you make a massive dent on your, massive saving. So soft fruits, depending on your climate, you could even train a grapevine across your southern facing wall, give it a bit of shelter. You might even get grapes. Figs, do the same thing with that. Yeah, so those kind of things. Things like asparagus, quite expensive. Tomatoes, definitely. They're not massively expensive, but they taste so much better when they're real tomatoes, not commercially grown stuff that they send over. But there's a good few things there for you. So that's all my gardening plans out the window for this year. But I'll still be watching, obviously, and keeping up with you. I really am gutted for you. I really am, mate. Um, uh, so would love a small holding, and it's certainly on the cards for the future. Well, if you wanna join in on our little adventure and do it as a team, then yeah, we should definitely be talking. You're in that's a money saving tip part. It's a good one, you know. It's so full of, you know, if you're not on any meds or anything like that, and the only real meds that I'd worry about are some, you know, like hormones or what's the other one, antibiotics. They're the real ones to worry about, but other, you know, like painkillers and stuff like that are not that big of an issue. But most urine contains a massive amount of minerals. It contains a massive amount of nitrogen as well that you can just dilute down and, you know, feed your soil with. If you're not, I wouldn't use it on lettuces and stuff like that, obviously, but on something like a tomato plant to get it going, it's a really good one, you know. I'll be giving you a shout on tomorrow's spud. Oh, wicked! Oh, nice one. Tony, whereabouts in Wales are you? Because, you know, if anyone ever wants to come over as well, yeah, I'd like some visitors. You know, I'm getting a bit lonely. My family gave me a rotating compost bin for Christmas. So far, so good on composting down from the kitchen waste, and the rats haven't got into it yet either. With the rotating ones, keep the balance of the stuff that you've got in there mixed, all good. So plenty. Don't overload it with nitrogen, otherwise they can get a little bit smelly. But yeah, enjoy it. Mostly running on solar and wind nowadays. What is that following up from another comment? Bish, so you've got a new channel. Fantastic. Tell us what your new channel's about. No, it's fine, to be honest. There's something much worse, and gardening is uh, cool. Uh, Urine is great for helping composting and 10-to-1 liquid feed. There you go. Another one for urine. Human urine. There, another one for urine. So we've got three votes for urine there. Drop would love to have wind and solar, but was it difficult to set up? That's another thing that I've been toying with, because I was thinking, you know, you can make a small wind turbine quite easily, that I'm not so clever with when it comes to wiring and the batteries and stuff like that. Because a nice little setup like that I could use in the greenhouse for just some lights to go in there when it's dark, or in the new man cave that I'm planning on. So I've been playing with ideas around that, and I've been looking at earth ships quite a bit. So I might start taking some ideas from an earth ship and playing with that, because what I want to do is I want a man cave with a gym bag in there, and somewhere for me to just hide away from everyone. And then I want the rest of it as a greenhouse where I can grow more chilies and stuff. I've got quite a few double glazed units from when I had my windows replaced that are just sat out there. So there's some good material there ready to be used. So let's see. Mate, Bulgaria would be my pick for an affordable collective farm. Count me in. The thing about Bulgaria is it gets too cold. You know, it gets really cold out there. That's the only thing that, that's the only thing that puts me off about, because my brother's out in Latvia and I thought about Eastern Europe, but the only thing that puts me off is the cold. The other thing that puts me off is I require a lot of prescription meds, so just to get through each day. So without the NHS, I'd be in a lot of trouble. That's the one thing that is stopping me from leaving the UK. Derek, yeah, high nitrates, but be aware certain types of plants need different types of MP. Yeah, I think there was a farm on sale in Nunno, Middlesbrough, might be worth a look at. Again, it's getting a bit cold up there, but yeah, Middlesbrough's not that bad, is it? It's not Newcastle, is it? I don't want to go further north than I am. I want to go a little bit south if possible. But then we'll see. If I can get an allotment straight away, then I might be able to garden this year. But most of the times they've got long waiting lists. Have you got onto all the allotments around you? Have you got onto trying to get onto some of the waiting lists for them? Urine keep trying to persuade himself to pee on the compost, but not out. Talk to me, Monty, if setting up a website. Been in the business for 25 years. I've got a website. It's called My Family. Let me see if I can find it. No, I can't even spell family anymore. So let's see if I can grab the website link. So there's the website. If anyone does want to have a look at it, I just need my brother-in-law to get the e-commerce side of it set and get the products up on there. Best things to grow money-wise is stuff that's expensive in the shops that aren't hard to grow, that don't take up much room. Yeah. Am I way behind in the chat? So Grit Cheatham, how are you doing? Long time no see. I think back to some of my early live streams, and I think about you, and I think about some of the people who used to come in. So yeah, I'm glad you came in. I really appreciate you coming in after all. It's nice speaking to you. So spaghetti squash is a good provider. If you've got the space for it as well, fig leaf gourd, absolute. Fig leaf gourds, they grow massive vines, but they produce so much. From one plant you can probably get 10 decent sized squash really easily. They really produce well. Living the dream, set up the kitchen studio today, planning the garden makeover. Absolutely fantastic, Bish. You want to see that garden makeover? I want to see what you're getting up to. If you need a multi-vendor or e-commerce site, Monty, just email me with in my about section. Nice one, mate. Nice one. So Jason Lockwood, how are you doing? Glad you came in to join us. Saying Marcus Weir in there, you were awesome. I absolutely loved it. I really did. I did a reaction video to it. I'm not into that reaction video type of thing, but I thought we'd do a reaction video. We filmed it live while I was watching, and I was well nervous, because we were on Gardener's World a couple of years ago, and the way it went from what they pitched it as and what the final product was, I was really disappointed with it. I was glad to be on Gardener's World because everyone wants to be in Gardener's World, but I was just really disappointed with the product or what they actually put out. But with what they did on this program, absolutely loved it. Really happy with it. I vaguely remember reading some time ago that a scheme to promote people making making bits of their garden available to those who don't have one but wouldn't know where to find out more. There was something. There was something. I remember sort of what you're talking about. I don't think it was an official scheme. I think people were just doing it. People would, you know, if you go onto a website, there's a Facebook group called Diggers and Dreamers. There's quite a few people on there that actually do it. Bish is willing to, if it's male urine, keep it. See, Tony, it's supposed to do that, right? Foxes, it's supposed to deter foxes, but I'll tell you now, it doesn't work in our garden. Could you tell us more about the homestead, please? Very interesting. So the plan is, if we can find the right group of people, then we go out, instead of trying to buy, you know, individual little plots, we go out and buy one big plot. So we go out and buy 100-acre farm, and then we'll divide that up amongst each individual family, and then everyone's got their own little plot, their own privacy. We'll build our own homes there, and then any existing building we can use as communal buildings. We can use as communal, you know, storage shelters. We can share the costs in terms of equipment and stuff like that. We can complement each other's business. So if one person runs cows, another person runs chickens, another person runs sheep. You know, we can, one person does all the veggie growing, one person specializes in different things, and we'll take that all to market together. And I think there's a good, you know, if we're feeding each other, we're looking after each other, and then we're taking that to market together as well. You know, 10 people finding contacts is going to be much more effective than one person trying to find different contacts and different avenues for sale. Even potential homeschool as well. You know, if we find the right group of people, we can bring the schooling home. Wigan, not flipping Wales. Wigan's close enough, isn't it? See, I was talking to Dean on the phone the other day, and he said you were in Wales, about 1.5 mile tops from me. I'm not in Sheffield. I'm in Leeds. I grew up near. I grew up near Parsons Cross. I was in Shire Green. Won't charge you either, but just buy the necessary hosting domain plugins. You need a lock on the man cave to keep the kids out. I think as soon as I start any sort of project in the garden, you know what's going to happen. They're just going to take over. I would like to spill water in can of charged water up. I've told this story a few times, right? Do you know, I was doing a live stream once. This was in my early days of YouTube, and I was great. If you're still here, you might be able to remember it. But I was doing a live stream from the garden, right? And I was mixing chicken manure with water to water the plants. And while I'm in the middle of the live stream, I sort of take a stumble, trip, foot straight in this bucket with chicken manure in, all over me, all over my head, everything, just because it splashed up and all over me while I'm in the middle of the live stream. Quite nasty. Battery is the most expensive part. That's a solar panel. You should schedule a live specifically to discuss the homestead. I need to find. Well, Imran. Well, I'm looking for the people first of all. So if we find the people, then we'll go beyond having a live. We'll do a bit more of a. We'll make a specific group and take it from there. So you would need a name for your man cave. I don't know. I'm looking at earthships at the minute. So with earthships, you'd need a good amount of soil. So I was talking to my wife and talking to her about building an earthship. And naturally, one of the things that she's been sort of saying no to me for the last couple of years is, can I have a bit bigger pond? and she's been saying no. And I talked to her about this earthship, and I said, look, let me try it out with my man cave. And I said I'd need a lot of soil, and I goes, where can I get it from? What do you think about me digging another pond to get the soil for my earthship? And she goes, oh, all right then. Yeah, so get in there. I might be getting a bigger pond. So let's see. I love your farm mission. I'm doing it on a small scale. I have an organic small holding in ancient woodland, and I've let. Oh, Les, you're doing it, man. You're doing the thing that I want to do. See, on my own, I don't know if I could afford, moving out onto a small holding, with everything that it's going to entail. But if we do it collectively, I think we've got a chance where we can, support each other. It's not so it's not bad, and we kind of have a microclimate here. I'll apply for an upload where it'll be going. No reason not to. Sure, I'd get onto every waiting list you can. Sometimes you can even find some people who are wanting to share allotments as well. So there's a guy in our group, during the Facebook group. He's from Leeds, and he's looking for someone to share his allotment with him because he's not getting enough time on there. Don't laugh, peeing on the compost pile might be cheaper. Jason, can I ask where can I start my potatoes? When can I start my potatoes? Early's now's a good time if you've got somewhere sheltered, somewhere warm, so up against a brick wall, up against your house, in a greenhouse. Early's now is a perfect time. If you haven't, wait another week. Second early's, give it till the end of the month, and then go for your second early's and main crop. Yeah, that sort of thing. But I was hoping to get a lot of my earlies in today. I didn't manage to do it. Hopefully tomorrow. Kara's tidbits. How are you doing? Glad you came in. Bulgaria is an affordable social healthcare system to try and get you a farm. That's in the south. Then go for it. It's like the south of France climate. Okay. So your website is on WordPress, so I can get you set up on e-commerce in minutes. Okay. Nice one, Drop. I'm going to talk to you then. I'll talk to you. Tracy, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're all good. Newbie to veg growing and gardening in general. Discovered your videos recently, and they're brilliant. I'm hoping I'll be successful with and would love to live the good life. Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the aim at the minute. That's the title of today's live is that I want a mission. I'm on a mission. I want to turn it into something real. I used to get the kids to do that, and anytime we had a barbecue or outdoor gathering, that's just I'll send you my Skype address. And oh, nice one, cool. I can't wait to. I appreciate that, Drop. I can't wait to watch the reaction video. I'll watch it this. Yeah, so we did there's some funny bits in there. The kids are absolutely, ripping me to bits all through the thing. Yeah, you'll see them just taking the mick out of the old dad. Nothing is frustrating as seeing someone with an enormous garden going off to their allotment. As someone who has grown on a balcony in car park space and been on allotment for this for 10 years. Yeah, well, people, there's something about something about British society that they don't want to grow in during the backyard as much. I mean, it's a modern thing because people used to do that all the time. All the way through the Victorian times, people used to grow in the backyards. They used to, if they had backyards, but even in the front yards, they used to keep a pig, that ate all the kitchen scraps and all that sort of thing, and then they'd eat the pig, and then that'd see them through winter. But that culture's there. It's just in modern times, it seems to have disappeared. Zainab, you're very welcome. Barakallah Feek. I was completely useless when it came to gardening, but your video, I'm glad they're helping. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear that I've actually helped someone. Yeah. So good dog, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Belinda, how are you? Thank you very much for coming in. Shweta, how are you doing? I'm assuming the live stream isn't still up. The live stream? Which live stream? Me and my wife share a man cave with darts, so she plays darts at quite a high level. Oh, see, I'd like that. I'd like that. I need somewhere just to be able to chill, just have a bit of my own space. But I guarantee you, as soon as I set up this man cave, it's going to be the new playhouse for the kids. A 2-acre plot per family will be enough to feed the family and have enough to make a little money and build a commune for the collective. Bees, goats, chickens. Oh, Tony, you're talking to me, man. You're proper talking to me. Clean Heart Channel, walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. I posted an advert on Diggers and Dreamers. See, I'm in there. I'm in that group. The only thing about that is that there's a lot of people with a lot of different yeah, they all want to do that country living sort of thing, but some people you don't know what they're like. And that's the only thing that puts me off. That's why I've sort of gone for people who know who I am, and then we can work from there. Do you know that have got some kind of connection to me, and then we can build it. We can build it, man. We can build it. Any idea how long the wait for a plot will be? Only 4 years where I am. There's some plots in Leeds, right? There's some plots that you can get quite quickly. So within a few months, people are getting plots. But there's another plot. The closest plot to where I am it's an 8-year waiting list. They said there's 80 people on the list before me. So we'll see. Luckily, I have a neighbour that owns a wholesale compost business. I get dump truckloads of green compost for about 300. Oh, that's fantastic. Did you get this idea? Sean, it wasn't from his. I mean, I did a live stream about a year ago where I sort of had this idea, and I wanted to do this, but I'm 40 now, and if I don't do it now, or if I don't start getting things set to be able to do it within the next few years, I'll never do it. I'll just be too old, and it'll be a dream that I've wasted. And so I really want to get the move on and try and find the right people that want to do it with me. Scroll. How many acres do you realistically need for a small? Then I think 2 to 3. See, for the sort of thing that I've got planned, I want for myself, I'd want 10 acres. Yeah. Can I ask which are your favorite tomato varieties? Sweet Million are absolutely beautiful. They're a nice small cherry variety. There's one that I tried last year for the first time. Sun Gold. So my Sun Gold seeds arrived yesterday. I need to get them planted. And there's another one that I'm going to try that's supposed to be like Sun Gold, but the skins don't split as much, called Honeycomb. So they're going in as well. So they're the ones that I like to just pick for eating. Seeds from the supermarket tomatoes, they're really productive and they always do well for us. So just a nice vine tomato from the supermarket, take the seeds, grow them. I always like them as well. What other varieties? There's Marmande were quite nice last year. So we've got some more Marmande growing. San Manzano, they're a nice plum variety. So if you like plum tomatoes, they're a good one for you. get onto the Horticultural Society allotments list. You won't have to wait for it. I would love to be back in a woodland. I miss centuries old oak trees back home. Oh, pure pondering. You're talking. 39 watching and 39 liking. Good work. Thank you very much, everyone, for hitting those like buttons. Appreciate that. You're too young to remember the Good Life TV No, I've heard it talked about, and I think it was yeah, but I've seen clips of it, on YouTube and stuff when people have said, "Go and have a look at this." So I have looked at it a little bit, so I know what you're talking about. Fwazi, walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. 45 watching, 43 likes. Dig for victory, big push for self-sufficiency during World War II. I think that's going to come back. There's a lot. People are really worried about food and food security. Who was it who said it somewhere in the comments earlier on? I can't remember who it was, but someone mentioned something very similar. And that's basically why I'm doing this series on the container garden. So the first episode of the container garden will be out tomorrow, and I'm focusing on getting containers that you can grow in for free or next to free. Next episode is going to turn those and how to fill them for free as well, or next to free. And then what I'll do in the next episode is I'll turn those containers into something that actually looks nice, and then we'll get planting into them, and then all season you'll be able to see me harvesting from that small area. And I promise you, the area that I'm going to be growing in is going to be absolutely tiny. I'm going to turn that into a really flourishing garden. I really enjoy a family garden, in particular the children. The children like to steal the show. I mean, they're not up here yet, but they normally come in. I think their mum's got them on the best behaviour. That's why they're not coming up. But the girl gardener, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Yeah, thank you very much. It was a really good. I really enjoyed it. I don't do Facebook, should I? It depends, Tony. It really does depend. I do Facebook for the because we've got the My Family Garden Facebook group on there. There's a good few people that I like to keep in touch with. So the reason that I spend a lot of time on Facebook is because it gives me a way of connecting to people every day and quite regularly. I think as long as it's not distracting you from other things, I think it can be quite a good tool. I'm building mini homestead on 1 acre, trying to encourage people I know in the area to do the same. We have 2 goats, chickens, 2 and dogs. Oh, see. You look good for your age. I thought you were about 33, 34. I wish I was 33, 34, mate. I've even got a grey hair in my beard somewhere here. It's somewhere here. Yeah, there's one just about here. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I really am. Not heard of the phrase victory gardens before. See, victory gardens and dig for victory were the same sort of thing, weren't they? See, I'm thinking Anderson shelters might be a good idea, actually. Can you advise? I'm new to vegetable gardening. I've prepared 20. I've prepared 20 beds and wonder what to start this time. I'm thinking of vegetables that can be seeded directly into the beds. See, I've got a really good video on what to sow in March, and that covers quite a few things, quite a few of the things that you're talking about. And I've actually covered that subtopic already in today's live stream. So rather than cover old ground, I'll refer you back to that video. I'll get you a link for it if you'd like. there's a link for it. There you go. So where is it? So for those looking for an allotment but can't get one, anyone has see if you share spare bits of a garden. So Sean, I think Monty insulted some of us. What do you mean? I don't think I insulted anyone, did I? My son go. I don't think I insulted anyone, did I? Would it be okay to pinch out suckers or baby tomato plants? Should they be left? Definitely pinch out suckers. With sun golds, you can grow them on a single stem, but don't throw your suckers away. Take your suckers and pot them up, and then you've got free tomato plants. So if you really want half an acre plot but don't want to wait, talk to a few local farmers and ask if you could rent some space off them. The problem is with me is that I'm right in the center of the city. So for me to get to the outskirts to where the farms are, I'm talking half an hour drive, and that just makes it really difficult for me. With the way we garden, because it's in our backyard, I can get some time there most of the time. I can get some time there. If I was sort of relying on going to an allotment, I'd struggle because of the way. I mean, I work all day and I teach all evening, so my weekdays are absolutely rammed. It's weekends that I get some time, and I want to be with the kids and be in the garden at the same time. So that's one of the reasons that I've never moved from or never got on some outside space from where I am. So vegetables that require high nitrogen level include beets, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. Oh, there you go. There's some nice ones. I started over again with this place when I was 51. Now 56 and still building it. Oh, pure pondering, saying, "Oh, because I said I'm getting old." The thing, yeah, I don't mean to insult anyone with that one. I'm just thinking that if I don't do it now, the chances of me doing it are gonna fade. Yeah, yeah. If I did insult anyone with that, I do apologize. Vegetables medium. There we go. Dropping some nice information there. Absolutely beautiful. I grew up on books by Katie Thayer, John Seymour, etc., and they really showed what could be done in a couple of acres, especially Katie Thayer. I think her books were based on. Okay. Can't wait for the container garden. Yeah, so the first episode will be out tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be just looking at free containers and how to fill the free containers. After I'd filmed one of the filling of one of the containers, I realized that I'd already filled that container where I got the soil from, and I'd planted into that. Yeah, but we'll see. So I just ruined my planting for one of them. So really enjoyed your video with Dean's Lost the Plot where you put where you went to sort out the gentleman. Oh, Brian's here. Brian's in the chat, and he plans on doing something similar. And the thing is, I mean, we went for Brian because I mean he's someone that everyone knows, and he needed a bit of help, so we went to help him out. If anyone ever does need help, that's one of the things that I do more of, is if we can find people that willing to help each other, we just go, wherever someone needs a bit of help, we just go and help them. But there were loads of people who said, yeah, they wanted to come along to help Brian's place, help fix Brian's place up. And on the day, it just turned out to be me and Dean. And the guy, and Dean, he drove 200 miles to get to me, and then another 50 miles to get to Brian. So that guy showed some serious commitment. how's life been treating me since I become a TV star? Pretty much the same. We got a few extra likes on Facebook, but that was about it. Your kids are a credit to you, Monty. Great words from you. The kids are absolute crackers. I mean, yeah, it's all the missus. She's kept us all. Without her, I keep telling her, look, without her, I'd be lost. I'd be completely lost. Yeah, um, it's her. She's done it. Yeah. My mum even said it a few. My big sister made a joke about her saying that she's a good one, we'll keep her. And my mum got quite defensive, and she says, of course she's a good one. She's been looking after a whole house full of people for this many years. She's run things. Of course she's a good woman. So it's all her, man. Um, so you're 13 years younger. I thought you were about the same age as Dean. Dean's quite a bit younger than me. Yeah. I hoped I was younger, but yeah, I wish I was younger. Um, if you're wondering, I'm on UK South Coast near Big Navy base. Uh, see, the pirates have shown up, eh? Check out Graham Bell, The Permaculture Garden. It's a brilliant book. Graham grows tons of food and thousands of trees. He's in Coldstream, Scotland. His plot is a tiny garden. See, I know Graham Bell. I looked at quite a bit of his work. The guy blocked me recently. He was talking about, when he talks about permaculture, he was talking about, people, fair share, and he was talking about limiting population. And so that is always a little bit of a touchy area within permaculture, and especially I'm very sensitive to that, because as soon as we talk about limiting population, the conversation's always we need less brown people. You see the conversation always go down that route, and it went down that route, and I pointed it out to Graham, and he just blocked me. So yeah, there's that with him. My daughter came up. Where did she go? I thought she was going to sit down for a bit, but looks like she's not that interested tonight. Mark, how are you doing? Glad you caught the live. I'm glad you came in. Greystone Gardens from Sheffield. I bought 12 fruit trees for around £6 each. I've got them all in pots for now until I decide what to do with them. Where'd you get them from? Because the supermarket trees just didn't seem to turn up in Leeds. I don't know if anyone in Leeds is here, but normally they're at Asda, normally they're at Tesco's or B&M, but this year they just seem not to be there. I was joking about the insult you're talking. Pat Riot, how are you doing? Glad you came in. And some onions. I've got my tatties in, some onion sets from seeds, 4 different types of carrots, 4 different types of beetroot, also lettuce. I've got loads of salad stuff. Well, beautiful. Do you know, when I hear people telling me how much they've got growing, I love it. I absolutely love it. Pinch out your suckers on the tomato. There we go. What do you teach, Monty, if you don't mind me asking? So I teach Islamic studies. So the kids from the neighborhood, I teach them Arabic, and then I teach adults how to read and write Arabic as well, and some Islamic history as well. I teach them the Quran, the translation from Arabic to English. I teach them quite a lot of Islamic law as well. So that's pretty much how my evenings get spent every weekday evening. Ignore me if this is a personal question. What do you do for work? I'm self-employed, so I just sit in an office, and I do some accounts work. Fawzi, you're very welcome. Yeah. So we've got to. Bish, you take care, and I'll see you soon. And I'm glad you're back. I'm glad to see you again. So I'm going to be providing seeds and knowledge for my town's community garden. Oh, drop. That's beautiful. BMW, walaikum assalam. Just saw you on BBC Two. Well done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, it'd be great to get onto a proper show, and I think that's someone in the comments of the reaction video really hit the nail on the head. Was there's for one of the things that I've always said is that there's no real working class gardeners. There's no real working class garden programs. I mean, Beech Grove is goodish, but again, it's Beech Grove is probably the best out there for working class people or people in a small gardening on an allotment or in the backyard. But things like Gardener's World, it's out of touch nowadays for me. A lot of the stuff, gardening programs out there, for what someone would spend in a year, I spent that in my garden in 12 years. It's in 12 years what people are spending in on a small project, I haven't spent in that time. And what we want to do is just try and show that to people and try and show, look, there's ways of doing it. All right, my garden's not the prettiest of things, but it's functional. It's it's providing a lot of food for us. The kids are having a great time playing there. We've got nice areas to sit in. We've got things that we want to do, but yeah, that's basically where I'm at. And no TV gardening program does that. It's not. There's not a massive catering for us. So 62 with health problems, working 1/4 acre of land and garden, hard to good days. Derek, lovely man, absolutely beautiful. See, I've got spinal problems. I've got that's why I was talking about my meds before. I've got a damaged spine, so that's why when I start thinking about age, it's getting worse. Every year I can see things getting worse and I can feel things getting worse. So when I say I'm 40, my body's a lot older than where I think I am. See, what do you do for it? Just being nosy. I think I answered that. Yeah, I work. I'm self-employed. I do accounts. Careful with that, big dog. There were asbestos. Ben, you can make the Anderson shelters without the asbestos, and with the aluminium or the not the aluminium, the steel things over the steel, corrugated steel roofing. You can use that stuff. But I'm thinking of an Earthship / Anderson shelter / greenhouse thing for my man cave. Let's see what I get with that. So let's see. Let's go down a bit. Mind your own plants. Glad you could make it. Hope you're good. Let's see. Those people that talk about population control really see drop exactly. I mean, that's the thing. That's where the conversation went. So as soon as I started pushing back from that point of view, it's yeah. The only answer was you're blocked, which is some of the things that some of the permies don't really like. Yeah, mind your own plants. I'm in Leeds. Can you grow bread? You can if you want to. There's you'd need a tropical climate. You can grow breadfruit, really popular around the Caribbean. Or if you want to grow the bread that we eat, you can grow your own wheat. I think Karen's not here tonight, but she, grew her own wheat, milled it, turned it into bread. So you can. Pear, plum, cherry, apple, beautiful. And the crates from builders merchants that have Indian sandstone are hard as. Just use them for composting, lining them with dumpy bags. Oh man, see, I love that. Aldi's selling lots of see, again, Fawzi, my Aldi's got nothing. The Aldi Aldi, Lidl, normally they have them every year. This year, last year and this year, the Leeds has been really poor with them. See, yeah, they're all sort of, one of the things about some of the permies is they're fixed with those ethics. Earth care, people care, fair share. Earth care is fair enough. People care, fair enough, and then they go into this fair share. When they talk about this fair share, it's one of the things about fair share is limiting population control, limiting population growth, and it's always that limiting population growth. It's always, you've got to do the limiting, not me. I'm here, I've got my space. Yeah, I'll consume as much as I want, but you've got to do it's always from that perspective. And it really just something that I'm not a fan of. And when any sort of conversation comes from that side, I do push back. I think you're still about 8 minutes behind. Oh, shall I just skip forward? If you want to the Eden plots in Wigan, you'll always be welcome. Tony, I think I might take you up on that. I want to do a tour of gardens this year. We started the My Family Garden on tour last year. And this year, I want to do it a bit more. I want to get out and about a bit more. Let's see. So I'm planning a worm farm for my Anderson shelter. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Let me skip to the end because we're way over time as well. Can I just? So glad I could make it. I don't realize we're in the same city. I keep my ears open for opportunities like you. Whereabouts are you? Kenneth, the Kentucky fam. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Mind your own plants. Whereabouts are you? And where are you on? Yeah. Tell me about where you are and what you're doing. We have enough abundance and resource to feed the whole. Absolutely, man. Les, that's exactly where I come from, and we just need to. For me, there's plenty of resources for everyone. There's plenty of stuff, right? We don't need more stuff. We just need to share the stuff between everyone a bit better, right? We just need to look out for our fellow person and fellow human being, and make sure that we're sharing equally. That's the thing of when it comes to fair share. That's what I take from it, and that's the side that I like to push. But when I say when they start saying, "Oh, we need less people so we can have more," nah, that's not where I'm coming from. Yeah, we've got there's billionaires, there's millionaires, like everywhere. There's people with more money than they'll be able to spend in their lifetimes. There's people with more stuff than they need ever, right? Yeah, they've got more stuff than they'll ever need or be able to live for, ever be able to use in their lifetime, probably their grandchildren's lifetimes. And that's the problem. That unequal distribution, that's the problem. Yeah. So I'm on a mission at the minute. I'm on a real mission. I want to do this. I want to turn this farm project, this little community project, into a reality. Let's find the people. Let's find the people. Good dog. I could see Monty as a politician. You'd be surprised. I was gonna say if anyone's in Leeds, I'm potentially. I don't know if I'm supposed to announce it yet. But where's the profit in equal shares? Yeah, exactly. Where's the profit in equal shares? We can't exploit each other then. How much profit do you need? What and what do you need? What do you need that the Earth can't provide that we can't provide for each other? Do you know yeah, we can make there's lots. Look, do you know like do you know like we started this pickle business, right? And this pickle business did well because people who like me wanted to buy from me and buy, you know, eat stuff that we're making, right? But if that, you know, the sort of margins that we're making on that are tiny compared to some, you know, like someone who was commercial profit minded, they'd be charging double the price we charge because they want a good return. We just want to share what we're doing. You know, we just want to share some of what's going on in our house with people out there. If we make a few quid from that, then fantastic. You know. Uh, enough resources on planet, 12 billion people. Yeah, the thing is, and the population growth is supposed to come down anyway. Yeah, you know, the trend for population will peak and then it'll come down. It's not just going to grow on indefinitely. Uh, yeah, Ben. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's he gonna? He's got more money than he could ever. You know, yeah, it's just some money, some amount that kind of. I mean, um, absolutely, he's doing great things in terms of his pushing technology forward. He's got some great ideas, fantastic. But there's so much he could be doing to help people. Um, there doesn't need to be profit or the constant need for growth. There doesn't need to be the constant need for growth. I wouldn't take out profit for people all the way because there's some element of profit that's is actually a wage. So you know, someone works, yeah, they work, they build a product, they sell that, and then whatever the margin is that they're getting, that's actually their wage. So because they haven't taken a wage out through while building that and selling that. So from that point of view, it depends on what we're talking about when we're talking about profit. But from that point of view, I think there needs to be some kind of element there. Permies are people who have turned permaculture into a cult and a cult about it. See, yeah, I could go on about. The thing is, I'd consider myself a permie, but not that kind of permie. Yeah. uh, if I remember to buy that winning lottery ticket and contribute to your project. If you ever win, that's what I'd be working towards if I had that much money. Yeah. The drenched food in glyphosate to achieve profitability, not nice. Not just glyphosate, all kinds of other chemicals as well. Tony, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. We've gone over time. Who do I support in football? I really don't support anyone in football. When I was a kid, I used to support Sheffield United, but apart from that, yeah, I haven't got time for football. Not time for the announcement then. What announcement? Play up Pompey. I'm lost here. Over nah, not a problem at all, mate. Not at all. Yeah. I hope everything's going good with you. I agree with you, Monty. I'm a capitalist. our own little business on my own land as well. But we as individuals can grow food for ourselves and community. And see, that's the thing, right? What you're saying there, Les, that's the thing that I'm saying. You know, you build your. I wouldn't say I'm a capitalist, but I'd say that there needs to be a balance between that, you know, self motivation and self interest, along with community interest and building the community up at the same time. Up the blades, absolutely. See, a long time ago, I would have been saying yeah, but now I couldn't even tell you who they played last. Yeah, I'm just so far away from it. I just don't have. I just don't get the time anymore. Oh, good dog. So the politics announcement. Yeah. So I left the Labour Party about a year ago, and I joined the Greens. So I might be running for local council this year. I went along to a meeting last month, and they just said, right, we're putting you forward. So that's where, yeah. So by the by, just in case I haven't got enough things going on. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. But we're at an hour and 16 minutes, guys. It's 9:20. It's 9:20, so I'm gonna call it a day here. So interesting. I know some Green Party people. Yeah, so we'll find some Green Party people. Let's see. It's been a good chat. I think I've really enjoyed this. You're my other favourite channel, Tony. I'm a Welshman too. We must have crossed paths before. We might have done. If anyone's on Facebook, right? If anyone is on Facebook, where's our group? This is our Facebook group. Do come in and say hello. Okay. But we've had a good chat. I've really enjoyed it. It's been let's see. Let's see if we can make this dream work. I've got a plan, and if we can find the people, we can make it work. Right. On that note, I'm going to call it a night. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.